Today we're going to talk about Faber Residences, a new development that is going to be near Clementi.
I think this one will be people who are looking for the school, people who buy into it, because there is have the one click to Nanhua Primary School. I think one of the most popular school in Clementi but I know that it's not so easy to get in.
Correct.
All parents will want to try it.
Yeah.
Okay, so a bit of disclaimer. So we'll be starting from about 2,000 per square foot. Anything that we say is based on our own opinion. If you are looking into this development and wanting to have a dive deeper analysis, do contact us privately. We are happy to share with you. So a bit of the perspective. This is one thing, a low rise. The highest floor is level 5.
I think in terms of the land size, right, also quite decent. You see from the perspective, it's like so-called quite a big development.
Correct.
So you see the side map, you see there's actually about one whole long stretch. So it's actually, in terms of, even though it's low rise, if you drive past, you can see that it's quite long.
So for low rise, right, definitely the land size cannot be too small, even because it cannot stack. Because right now we have this development have 400 units. So where is this Faber Residence?
If you look at the map, we're actually near to Clementi, in between Jurong Lake and Clementi. So we're just right smack in between. I would say it's also quite near to the West Coast area. Yeah, so for those that drive, right, I think it will be a plus point. Yeah, then, if you look at the unit mix, right, the total number of units is about 39 units, close to 400. Okay, the important thing to take note is that you see for the two-bedder, there's only 20%, which is about 80 units. So for this development, I would say they are targeting more towards the own stay, towards families.
Because they build more on the 3 and 4 bedrooms.
Yes, correct. So, and in terms of connectivity, in the future, there's going to be a Jurong Town Hall MRT, which is what they call the Jurong Region Line, which is around here. They say it will be built finish around 2029. Yeah, and then it's about 800 meters walk, so about 10 minutes walk to this MRT. Other than that, the nearest MRT will either be Clementi or Jurong East.
So one thing you see from the overview, right, definitely Faber Walk in terms of connectivity, in terms of walking to MRT, definitely this is not the development to go for. If you want something that is near MRT, definitely if someone to have a car, maybe.
Yeah.
If you have no
car or you
take bus, if not, because what we know that they will have shuttle bus service to Clementi MRT until the handover to the NCST.
For the developers, I think no need much introduction. This one, they are established developers, Waco Land and Hong Leong Group. So we have come to our favorite part of the video. I know we always have concerns or certain things that we hear from the ground about this development. So the first thing that we hear is that when we compare to the resale, right, the prices seems to be a bit on the high side compared to the resale there in the area. Yeah.
So there's only one development there to compare actually is the waterfront at Faber. And you can see from here, right, the average itself is about 1,500. So if we use back the formula, if we even add 7% to harmonize, and even use the 10% for a new launch gap, right, it's still below what is the starting from per square foot for Faber.
But of course, waterfront, to be very frank, the PSF doesn't seem to be very high all along. So maybe it might not be a very accurate comparison.
But this is also one of concern because today we always look at the surrounding resale. Because if today the resale don't command near what is the new launch price, right? Is this a real concern? For me, I think it's yes. So one thing I think, if you really want to enter Faber, it will be someone that you are looking for longer term horizon. For people like buying because of school.
Yes.
Because when you buy for primary school, right, definitely will be locked for 6 years already.
Primary school is 6 years, primary 1 to 6 6 to 7 years .
But if you are looking for something that is, I want to buy this, then maybe 4 years later when it's TOP, I want to sell for a profit. Maybe this development is not something that we feel comfortable with .
Yeah,
correct. Yeah, because there are the
comparables there not a lot .
Okay. So some of you might heard that it will compare. But if it's very near Park Clementi, so can we compare the price there as Faber? Then Faber will look attractive. But for me, I don't really agree with this point because for Park Clementi, actually you can see that it's a high-rise product. So when a high-rise product, actually developer have a different strategy. Whereas low-rise product, right, developer also have another strategy.
Correct.
Yeah. So what is this strategy? Because for low-rise, right, the top floor is level 5. Yeah. So they cannot load the spread.
Yes.
For example, today both developer wants 1,008 per square foot as an average. Because developer work this way. I don't care how you sell, the marketing team, I want the average to be 1,008. Both marketing sales team will plan the sales of the development. Today, if I have I want 1,008. For low rise, I need to start at 1,006. Then after that, my high, right, I can only sell 2,000. Why? Because I cannot load. I cannot spread out the load. If the spread is too far apart, what I mean by too far apart, right? For example, today the first floor and second floor, the jump maybe a 40, 50,000. Then will be, if you are the buyer,
will you buy or not? Even.
One floor 50,000. So because in the market, people per floor jump, right, is usually 3 to 5K difference. Yeah. And also HDB, right? As HDB upgrader, they buy HDB BTO, right? The per floor jump is only
1K, 2K.
Like that, right? So now you tell me per floor jump 50,000, maybe I cannot.
Yeah, which developer will not want to go and do this kind of thing.
Yeah, but for low rise can, because alright, even I put 1,008, right? I can sell cheaper at 1,004. Then my high floor, I can go as high as 2,200 lah.
More spread.
So what does this more spread mean?
Yeah, so we look at the high rise, for example, Whistler Grand, right? During the launch day, from the lower floor, about 1 million all the way to 198, it's a 70K difference. But if you look closely at the per floor jump, actually it's only about few K only. For example, this one is about maybe 3K. Yeah, so they load very little, like few K, which is normal for per floor level. In the end, you see they are able to have a 70K difference. So the developer is able to spread it more, but in the end, they are able to load it more on the higher floor, even though the per floor jump is only few thousand.
I buy 6th floor at 1.02 million. But after that, when I go to 22nd floor, it's 70K difference. If I'm the buyer now, maybe I can accept.
Yeah.
Because
it's really, I mean, high and low.
The high floor, then I don't mind paying a bit more. Because it's, how to say, it's a human nature. High floor costs more.
Yes.
It's easier for us to accept. Yes. Whereas today, you give me 3rd floor, then just a 20 or 30,000 jump, maybe I cannot. So that's why we say that the low floor loading cannot be too much on the spread.
Yes.
Now you can see.
Yeah, so for example, if you see Cambridge Hill, which is the low rise, right? Of course, only 5 levels, right? So from here, you see the gap is only about 7,000. 7,000, like here, here to here, 7,000, here to here, 7,000. Where they load at, you'll see the jump is at the first floor as well as the 5th floor. Yeah, so this another, for example, the 2-bedder, also same thing. They add another 8K, then they add another 8K, here 8K, right? But the loading on the first floor and the 5th floor.
So you see when the developer actually try to sell the second, third and fourth then after that the premium will go to the first and the highest floor. You can see the square feet is higher because it's a higher ceiling, higher volume. Right. And what I know from Cambridge, right, the first floor also actually is a higher volume, but the developer never count the void. Technically, they say it's free, but in the end of the day, they price in the
they price in more expensive but they never write in as in terms of the square feet
Correct.
How does this affect you as a buyer? Let's say if you go into a new launch, right? Usually on booking day, we will actually guide our buyers using a 5-step process. One of the process is to spot the unit per floor jump, the loading, where the developer actually load the price on the different levels. So this is actually Water Garden, which is also another low rise. So if you look at Water Garden, right, you see for example the same stack. Okay, the per floor jump for jump to the second floor is 12,000, then 16,000, then 8,000. Where was the developer load most of the price? It's actually on 56,000, which is on the 5th floor. Okay, this extra loading, of course, if you look at the size, it's bigger. But this is why is this bigger? Because they actually count the strata void area, which means you have a high ceiling. Yeah, so you have to pay another 56,000, which is where they load at. Okay, then if you look at another example, okay, same thing. 12,000, 16,000, 8,000. Then they load on the 5th floor again because there's a strata void area.
So the advantage is at one glance, right, you can see the whole thing. For example, you want this layout, right, and you like this facing, right, it's easy. Once you just get 5 units, you can see how is the price already.
Correct.
But for
if you talk about high rise, it's a different story. Like show you the example. You look at high rise, you see we take example River Green. This is actually all the River Green transaction. And I use the same date, all on 2nd August, and I use the same stack. So from here, you see, if you want to find where is the loading, where is the jump, I would say take a bit of time because you have to look through every single per floor jump, how much, which will be definitely harder. So why are we sharing with you this? Today, right, the advantage of a low rise is that if you are looking in terms of even your queue number not so good, right, actually you might be able to still get a good price. And you are easier to, example, on booking day, get the prices, you can straight away see it. Yeah, but for high rise, even you get a few units, right, also you might not be able to
Because
see
even
all.
using the 5-step, right, the last step, right, when you see the per loading, right, for high rise, right, we use the highest floor
Yeah.
and the lowest floor, right, how many level? We divide by 5, right?
Yeah.
Then from there divide by 5, then we use the per jump, then we see whether that is different. So it's
We can't get every price out.
yeah. So it's usually that's how we do it. We divide by 5. But then we can see as a jump. Then from the jump, right, then we need to dive deeper.
Correct.
So that's the difference. This one low rise, one shot we can see it.
Yeah.
Like what Dylan has said, right? For low rise, the advantage is today even your queue number is not so good, right? You can still definitely get a unit without paying so much extra, because for high rise, right, once the queue number is not so good, right?
Then you can go sit. Yeah, but that being said, of course, another thing about low rise is that even you get a good queue number, right, it means your advantage also not so much.
Correct.
Right. So because people also they get a little queue number, their price difference also not so much.
Yeah.
But for high rise, if you get a very good queue number, I would say you're in a very good position.
Like for example, you see River Green, right? High floor versus low floor. You see the gap is actually 700 per square foot difference. So today, if you can buy something at 207 that day, the queue number very good.
Yeah.
I never say you make the 700 per square foot 500, 300. I think quite easy
Correct.
because it's very your protection is very high. For high rise, you need good queue number. Okay. Today, what is the Ballot advantage for low rise for Faber? So today, we can see right now, we can see the starting is about 2,000, right? So starting 2,000, Now we don't know what much the average is going to be. If we can find on that day, right, we try to find the highest. Maybe today, for example, we say if the highest will be 2,450. So technically, developer is be looking about average of 2,002. Let's say like that. So how can we have this advantage? And anything you buy below 2,002, maybe it's something
Safer.
in terms within the development. Okay, within this development. But you can see the developer actually price a bit higher for the bigger unit. Meaning he knows that there is a demand for the bigger unit there
Correct.
to average out the whole thing. So one thing you must understand the developer strategy. I want my average cost. So you need to know what is the average you want. Then from there, you can determine, you try to buy below the average. This is another strategy you can apply to buy safe in new launches.
Yeah, which is quite interesting because I just saw also, you see the blue beta is cheaper. Usually the PSF, right, for the smaller units is usually higher and the bigger unit is lower. But in this case, it's opposite. The PSF for the bigger units is higher, but the smaller units is lower.
Definitely, the developer got do his homework.
Yeah.
They know who's the target audience, where's the demand.
Yes.
They know where to price their premium.
Yes.
So I think the 4 and 5 is their premium product. So one thing you can also, on this starting from, you must the 797. For 797 starting from 1.59, it's very attractive because it quantum into this market. It's usually a 2-bed, 2+2. Now it's almost a 800 square feet, 3-bedroom. I think this quantum that makes this 3-bedroom very attractive to me. What is the D5 average per square foot and also the quantum that we see? We have extract out the data. The average right now at D5 is about 2,002. So if you can get something below 2,002, I think it's quite safe. And now you also, because of it's a low rise, right? Technically, there might be a lot 2-bed, 3-bed at this range 2,001, 2,000. Below 2,002. Not like today you go for a high-rise product, right?
Yeah.
And there's only 2 or 3 towers, right? Then your chance of getting the below 2,002, right?
Very little.
Once it hits certain floor level, no more. This one is well spread.
Yes.
You can actually take your time to study which is you can shortlist the facing you want, because most likely the price difference won't be so much.
Correct.
Who should consider Faber, Dylan?
So I would say those that want to consider Faber, like we mentioned earlier, right, it should be those that want to go into Nanhua Primary. Okay, definitely those that are looking in terms of a bit of a long term. And I would say also one more point is that people that like a bit of a more quieter area. Because that Faber area, I would say mostly, if I remember correctly, it's all landed.
Landed enclave.
Landed enclave. Yeah, very very quiet, very relaxed place. So more family oriented.
Because I got once, I got do some viewing in, let's say, Bugis condo, right? Some viewer came to see the unit, right? Actually, they don't want to buy because they say, I work in the CBD, right? It feels like CBD. Then I come back home, also feel like CBD. Although Bugis area, the condo very convenient. MRT, downtown line, then when we go Suntec, everything. But he say, the main thing she say that I don't feel at home when I come back. Because some people wants to, when they come home, they want to be separated, wind down, separated from work, coming back to something different.
Yes.
So I think Faber have this point.
Yes. Of course, the sacrifice I will say is the MRT.
So
for sure.
So this one is more like a own stay environment also. Like for example, Kent Ridge Hill, same thing. People who like Kent Ridge will definitely buy Kent Ridge Hill.
Yes.
Because they know that nature back door is the Kent Ridge hill, all these things. You can walk, you can hike. It's a different group of buyers, I can say.
So now we are going to actually look into the 2-bedroom analysis. And we're going to just take a look a bit at the floor plans.
Yeah, we just want to compare with the waterfront at Faber.
Yeah.
Let's see what is the layout there versus the newer layout that Faber Residence.
And we don't have any other comparable.
Yeah, don't have any other comparable. So we see. So for the 700, right, versus our 646, right, what's the difference? Definitely this one is the older type of the layout, the one-sided one. While Faber Residences, right, we have the dumbbell layout. So one thing we can see, I also noticed that there are 700 square feet, it's a 2-bed, 1 bath. It's a 2-bed, 1 bath.
Yes.
We have a 2-bed, 2 bath at 646. So does this actually have an advantage? But the problem is we only got 20%. Because they are not focusing on selling this year.
Yeah, correct.
Their main bulk will be more on upgrader. But for today, you are looking for a 2-bed, 2 bath in that quantum range. Faber is the one.
Yeah, I thought confirm. I want 2 bath compared to 1 bath. Definitely.
Starting from is 1.29, man. 1.29, right? The starting from, right, is actually 1.29.
1.29 2-bed, 2 bath is, in my opinion, very, very attractive. 1.29 by right is 1 bedder.
1 bedder.
It's 1 bedder, not even 2 bedder. And this one is 2 bed, not 1 bath. 2 bed, 2 bath.
And the 6.4, definitely this is some advantage if you can get it in a way. But not a lot, only 20%. So there's no comparable because we check waterfront, right?
There's a few sizes, but it's all around. It's still 1 bath.
It's 2 bed, 1 bath.
Yeah, 2 bed, 1 bath.
If not, the next one will be the dual key.
Which cannot compare.
Yeah, it's correct. So then we go to the 3-bedroom, right? 3-bedroom, they don't have small size in waterfront.
Correct.
So we just compare the basic 797 and 818.
Yes.
So what is the key difference for the 797 and 818, right? Is actually 818 is like you have every windows. You know, the pretty standard, like we always say, I think we say no boring.
We like window.
we love window. It's resale. When we do resale, right? The upgraders come and say, hey, where's the window?
Yes.
Do you have window? When there's no window, then they say, not so keen.
Yes.
And usually those don't mind window, right? It's the newer buyers. But you talk about the 30s, 40s, those that stay in HDB upgraders, right? They know sometimes they really feel that window is better because they scared there are more issue.
In fact, the kitchen, I would say, most people who cook often confirm want a window one because no window, very smoky. Although you got that the extract smoke one, right? But at the end of the day, still people kitchen at least want a window.
Yeah, pretty standard. You see the 818, if can, I will go for 818 Why? Because 797 818 what's the difference? The size gap is
very small.
Very small.
Very
Unless
small.
the developer price the 797 to be very cheap,
Yeah.
the 818 they load the premium there because they know that people want that one.
Correct.
You have to consider.
Yes.
But we must see the price difference.
Yeah.
But because even 797 at 1.59, right? Faber only play quantum already. I think.
Quantum.
It's like the quantum the starting from is something you cannot find one.
Yeah, I mean if you look at PSF, confirm you will feel like very hard to
you will be entered at a new high
it's a high.
at the area. You are the highest. Because of harmonized, the PSF is higher.
Correct.
But right now, if you compare the overall market, you don't compare the development around there. You compare overall market, like cannot find.
Really cannot find.
So Faber Residence 主打的是 quantum
play. You're doing
quantum play. Yeah. So the 3-bedroom standard 861. So now you see the 861. What's the difference? It's got extra flex. Then definitely it's a dumbbell. So it's like typical the 3-bedroom 7. Now you add a flex. If you don't need the flex, then you need to do see how much this flex cost.
Gonna cost you lor.
This flexi room cost you. But one thing not so ideal will be again no window.
Yeah, no window.
This one no window. So
all.
if no window, right, definitely maybe here might be a bit dark because light came. There's no light, The light is coming in from here
Yes.
or here. Unless you must open this room then we got a bit of light If not, you have on your light I've been this, I feel based on my own opinion For the 3-bedroom plus 1033, then we have some comparable because the bigger their waterfront there is a bigger layout is 1066. So you can see one thing the difference I feel that here already lose waterfront. Because it feels like the bedroom a bit tight whereas here is quite a standard layout.
Yeah, then another difference is that if you look at the master bedroom, you see there's a balcony here. So here got balcony already, then here another balcony. I would say this balcony a bit, I don't know Okay, I see the balcony also not very big. So to me a bit
last time balcony cheaper but now you want another balcony, then it cost more So
correct.
usually now very seldom have development have 2 balcony already. Then I mean mostly is the same. It's just that you see they are actually very close together Technically now here is like more privacy in terms of way, more spacious more spread out.
And then also one thing you must realize here got one area what do you call it? The
Flexi room.
Flexi room one area here. This one don't have. So even though we are smaller but we got one flexi room.
Then this one will have all the windows. Even here the WC got window. So this is like the perfect upgrading layout
Yes.
over there.
For I mean homestay people, this is something that
If today you don't have the need of a flexi room, all these things, then maybe you can just go for the basic one. Because the 861, the only concern we have is the lighting of the whole house might be quite dark. And now this one is low rise. So I don't know how's the lighting gonna work. So it might be quite dark. Okay, so for the 4-bedroom, you can see the 1119 square feet, versus the 1173, Technically, you can see quite similarity. But today, they do for the 4-bedroom. I think I see for the layout, they all can hack the wall for this. Got 1 bedroom, so you have a bigger landscape living hall. And one thing very smart for here, the home shelter entrance is over here. Because usually you do cooking, if the entrance is like the old one is in the kitchen, sometimes the door very thin, very obstructing. The one is obstructing. Number 2, maybe you're cooking, all the fume, all the oil smell, all go inside the warm shelter Then usually this is where you store your thing, or maybe so this is here. I think quite smart. Then WC is over here. One thing I'm not sure is there's no yard for this 4-bedroom, because 4-bedroom usually is like the layout is the nothing to say one, it's for livability, everything I have, but this one no yard. Something that not prefer is no yard Similar, because you see they got 1 bedroom here, this 1 bedroom here. It's just that this smaller This one I think same size, but they try to, but this one also you can have quite similar. It's just that the way they put the bomb shelter and the kitchen.
In fact, I actually think the waterfront, I think actually the actual usable space is smaller, because although it's 1173, but that of course during that time it's not harmonized. They include all this They include the aircon latch, everything. But this one they don't aircon latch So maybe for one get more usable space.
So the 4-bedroom standard. Okay, for the 4-bedroom, the 1206, we compare it with the 1281 because in the end we are harmonized, we are technically smaller. So you can see the waterfront, one thing I see already got is this the whole thing First, I mean first time I see a layout that stretches all 2-bedroom I seldom have usually stretch to one, now it stretch to a whole.
I mean this one you can do shutter run
But so you can see this is a smaller bedroom in terms of the size, not space up. Then after, of course, everything is similar. Whereas the Faber Residence, same thing I told you, they let you have the option to hack this thing. So that you can have your landscape, and they built it in a way that you got a.
Now you just say the main thing.
Check. Okay, so for the 4 standard, 1206, we compare with the 1281. So one thing, the 1281 very big, but you can see the balcony also quite big. It links to 2 more bedrooms.
Very long.
Very long. So I think this one maybe some wasted also. But of course, the strength of the older waterfront will be the yard. It seems that the Faber Residences, the developer
Don't really have yard.
don't have yard
Yeah.
for 4 bedroom. Then after that, from here you can see the kitchen, right? Also no window.
Yeah.
But one thing is, you actually this part, right? That the person they do a dumbbell so that you bigger space. You can then after that you can actually hack here, then become a wide frontage living hall. Then also the same length with the balcony lah. Then here this one maybe will be like how say the junior master, but
Yeah, but it's not connected.
Not connected. Because they still need this to be opened up lah.
Yeah.
In a way. Then one thing, the bomb shelter again, they face it out lah. A bit of like the HDB right now, the
HDB facing corridor.
facing
The door.
corridor type of bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Then whereas you got one common bathroom here. One thing I can say that again is the window lah.
4 bedroom, no window.
So this is something that I think you have to consider. Yeah. Of course, you have to go and see the show flat and take a look in the way. So the 4 bedroom standard, another one, right? The 1270, right? This one, like our favorite, got window.
Finally.
Finally, got the kitchen. I think it's important to have window like in kitchen. When for bigger size,
Yeah.
that you will do more cooking, right? I think
Usually more cooking ma.
Yeah,
Because
more
families are all staying that kind. Usually families they will try to cook lah.
Yeah, I think that this and also lighting wise, you see here at least we can have some light coming in lah. Because from here your kitchen have no light one.
Yes.
Then if you compare with the 1292, right? 1292 again with this, so not so ideal already.
Not so ideal lah,
in this
yeah.
market. Now they don't want so big balcony already. People who can't see because they already know that this is something that they cannot use. They don't.
Correct.
They don't stay there long lah.
Yeah.
And for them to pay much more, right? For the
long balcony.
yeah, standard you can all hack. That's why I say to make it to a 3 bedroom. Then I think it's pretty similar to this layout. But one thing different, right? Is they add on a dry kitchen over here lah. Then from there most of it is the same. So the last one will be the 5 bedroom.
Yes. So the 5 bedroom. Okay. One thing about Faber Residences, although we have a 5 bedroom, but in waterfront we don't have a 5 bedroom.
Correct.
Waterfront we only can use they call the 4 bedroom deluxe which is 1389 square feet. Yeah, for the 5 bedroom is 1485 lah. Okay, so I mean we will try to compare, but at the end of the day, 5 bedroom one thing good is that you got extra room lah. Then this one is only got 4 bedrooms. Okay, so if you look at here, there's a junior master here. Okay, then this one there's a master bedroom lah. This one again there's a balcony at this corner. So this balcony, I mean to some people might not be something that's very usable lah. This one might not be so good. Then for 1389, of course, when it's not harmonized, they include all these aircon latch, all these things. Yeah, but if we look at the 5 bedroom, I would say it's actually not too bad. Only thing for 5 bedroom, I feel the living room is a bit not so big lah. Yeah, not so wide lah. So again, like what Matthew mentioned earlier, if a wide frontage living, then you maybe head down this wall.
So it become
become a 4 bedroom.
and one thing, the kitchen is bigger lah. This one is a squarish kitchen.
Yeah,
very different from the rest of the kitchen. Then you have a junior master.
Junior master here.
Then your bomb shelter and one more WC is at near the
Here lah,
the entrance
here. Yeah, then of course the 5 bedroom, if you look at the master, there's actually a walk-in wardrobe here lah, this area here lah. Then the normal 4 bedroom. Then
I think that's it lah.
straightforward lah.
Today actually if you can see for Faber, that's right. The only thing I think we have to really take note is what is your plan? What is your intention of buying it, looking into development? Your intention must be clear, because if you have the intention of flipping,
might not be the best.
not be the best.
Yeah, because there's currently why also because there's a lot of choices out there. In fact, October there's going to be upcoming 5 new launches. The thing is, when we are looking at all these different developments, right? Faber to some people, they may not even consider it because Faber, I would say the target audience, like we keep saying, is really families that want to stay in the area.
And also for how to say long term, owning a piece of development over at Faber.
Yes.
Long term, or you buying for school. Then we see you may buy for school. How long you gonna stay? First, because you wait for TOP, right? TOP will be about 4 years.
4 years.
Then you stay for another 6 years. It's also 10 years.
Right.
Definitely 10 years horizon. To me, in terms of rate, right, it's actually very safe lah.
Very safe.
Of course, in the end, we still have to buy safe. Like don't buy over what is. I mean for all my customer lah, we try not to buy above too high of an average Yeah, unless it's something that you want, then the emotion plays in.
Yeah, I think if we have to be clear lah, because high rise and low rise are two different strategy. We cannot use the same strategy high rise or low rise. Same thing, we cannot use the low rise strategy for high rise. So at the end of the day, we have to be very clear on what is the development we are looking at, and then also implement our 5-step process lah, that we are able to make a well-informed choice and to buy something that is safe for you. So once again, I'm Dylan.
I'm Matthew. We see you soon.